tonight. Businesses feel the impact as travel from Saskatchewan to the U.S. drops. What does Regina smell like? The city launches a brand new scent. And a new honor for a former Saskatchewan Lieutenant Governor.
This is CBC Saskatchewan News.
It is Friday, May 23rd, and the CBC Saskatchewan News starts right now. I'm Ethan Williams. Thank you for joining us. New data suggests the number of Saskatchewan travelers heading south has significantly dropped, and that's having an impact on both Canadian and American businesses. Alexander Kwan has our top story.
Since Donald Trump was sworn back in as President of the United States, travel from Saskatchewan to the U.S. has cratered. Data from U.S. Customs and Border Protection shows in April of last year, more than 34,000 travelers passed through the province's dozen ports of entry. This April, that number has shrunk to 27,000 travelers, a drop of more than 20%. Businesses that rely on cross-border travelers say the lack of traffic is due to Trump's tariffs and his rhetoric on making Canada the 51st state.
We're in a full-blown crisis, is how I would describe it.
Barbara Barrett is the head of an association representing more than 30 Canadian duty-free stores across the land border with the U.S. That includes the North Portal crossing in Saskatchewan. Barrett says, on average, sales at the stores have dropped by as much as half nationwide.
But in the more remote areas, in the east and the west, we're seeing up to 80% down. So it is a dramatic decrease, and we are feeling the brunt of the elbows up. I'd say that we're taking it on the chin.
North Dakota thrives off of Canadian tourists, and even outside of peak tourism season, businesses in the state are already noticing a drop in visitors.
And this is the thing that I really want to stress probably more than anything, is the businesses of Minot want Canadians.
While this trend is concerning to many American business owners, they point to the historically close ties between the two countries as a reason for optimism.
This relationship has spanned decades. And so we don't see this as, international tourists, right? We see it as our friends that we see often.
For the duty-free stores, patience does not look like an option. About a third of them could close, and if they do, they likely won't reopen. Alexander Kwan, CBC News, Regina.
The Saskatchewan NDP is calling on Premier Scott Moe to denounce advocacy group Unified Grassroots. Earlier this month, the group launched a sovereignty petition which aims to, quote, empower the provincial government to negotiate new terms for Saskatchewan's relationship, whether as part of Canada or as an independent nation. And on Sunday, the group is hosting a town hall event in Saskatoon.
This isn't about, people organizing or meeting with their friends. Like, they're free to do this. Absolutely. The problem is the Premier's unwillingness to lead, and the tone starts at the top. Any talk of separation is incredibly dangerous.
Unified Grassroots founder Nadine Ness denies her group is strictly in favor of separating from Canada. She says the town hall will be a listening session about all topics related to grievances with the federal government.
If you look at our website, our values are listed in the About Us, some of the things that we rally for, and one of them is protecting Saskatchewan sovereignty. So what does that mean? It can mean a million different things. It can mean 100 different steps before it goes to separation.
In a statement, the provincial government blames the NDP for continuing to bring up the issue of separatism. The province says it is committed to ensuring Saskatchewan is part of a united and prosperous Canada. The union, representing about 55,000 postal workers, has called for a nationwide halt to overtime work. It comes as the union and Canada Post management failed to reach a contract deal Friday. The overtime ban means there won't be any rotating strikes or work stoppages like these scenes from last fall, but members are being told to refuse any work beyond 8 hours in a day and 40 hours in a week. The president of the local representing Saskatoon postal workers says he's hopeful about the fact this is not an all-out strike.
Especially for communities, especially for workers. We still want to get that mail. We want to be out there in the communities every single day. So it is a positive sign in that way. It's a positive sign in the way that we could be getting closer to a negotiated settlement. I'm not at those meetings, so I don't know exactly what's happening today there, but it's positive in those ways, absolutely.
Ensland says he does not expect any service delays as a result of the overtime ban. But in a statement Friday, Canada Post says delays are possible. Part-time weekend work is one of the biggest sticking points in the negotiations. Family members of an international student who was killed at his job in Saskatoon are now suing the company where he worked. Alfred Ouri died in January after he was stabbed at a mining supply company called DSI Underground Canada. Ouri's family has filed a statement of claim alleging the company was negligent by not providing a safe working environment. The statement goes on to say the company should have known the man charged in Ouri's death was prone to violence. The allegations in the statement of claim have not been proven in court. Hundreds of wild geese have been found dead in the Fort Capel area this spring, and testing has now confirmed they died of avian influenza. Jeremy Warren has more on that case and the issues that avian flu is having on local poultry farms.
Much like these snow geese that died in fields along the Trans-Canada Highway 3 years ago, the wild geese that died from avian flu this spring were found in fields around Lipton, a village northeast of Regina. Wildlife experts say the province is seeing an uptick in the deadly disease and it's spreading to nearby farms.
This recent strain, it seems to affect birds more seriously. And so we have seen increased mortality in wild bird populations, which is concerning. For the most part, our waterfowl populations are doing really well. But this virus is also widespread across North America.
And now the Canadian Food Inspection Agency has detected avian flu in domestic poultry in our province. It has placed 3 Saskatchewan farms under quarantine, including poultry farms near Indian Head and Kolonzi. Symptoms include tremors, gasping for breath, and sudden death. Avian flu is highly contagious and spreads through contact with infected manure, feed, and water.
Once they've been infected, the virus tends to act very quickly in the birds, and it tends to end up killing them, really, is what ends up happening. And it does happen rather quickly. It's pretty stressful on farmers. It's pretty stressful on the industry.
Testing on the wild geese near Lipton confirmed they died from H5, a highly pathogenic strain of the bird flu. It's the same strain detected at a British Columbia ostrich farm. That farm's owners are fighting in order to cull 400 birds. The Chicken Farmers Association here is urging farms to take precautions.
Really limit the visitors to your farm, really enforce rules such as, cleaning vehicles if they have to come in, or changing boots with visitors, or just really monitoring your flock. It's, like I said, it's something you try to mitigate, but it's never 100% no matter what you do.
Experts say bird mortality, at least for the wild populations, should start dropping as the migratory season ends. Jeremy Warren, CBC News, Saskatoon.
Well, Tourism Regina is sniffing around for new ways to promote the Queen City. It's bringing back the old I Love Regina campaign after controversy surrounding its previous rebranding attempt. And as Sarah Onyango tells us, it's giving tourists a whiff of Regina.
What does Regina smell like? Well, the city has unveiled a new official scent.
Scents are really powerful memory triggers, so we're hoping that people take this custom scent home and think back fondly on their trip here.
The city is also going back to its old I Love Regina slogan with new merch to match. And this comes after its past Experience Regina rebrand totally flopped, with the tagline, "The city that rhymes with fun," that some criticized as sexual and just not good.
The decision to do this now really has nothing to do with that. We've heard, repeatedly that people would like to have takeaways or memories to take home with them once they visited a city.
Now the city is rolling out a scent with candles and more, and it has us thinking, what do you think Regina smells like?
Depending on where you are, it can either smell like cigarettes or flowers or trees.
For me, I think Regina smells okay.
Regina smells like sweet, sometimes spicy.
Great guesses, but the real scent has lavender, sage, cedar, and vanilla. Interesting. But you'll have to check it out for yourself and decide.
Well, the sun finally back out at 15 Wing Moose Jaw. Great day for a plane ride or maybe just a walk in the park. We've got more of this weather coming your way. Helena has the details when we come back. Welcome back. From the home of the snowbirds to the heart of Saskatchewan, the Royal Canadian Air Force is soaring into a new chapter with the latest appointment of its latest honorary colonel. Vaughn Solomon Schofield will assume the position. She also served as Saskatchewan's 21st Lieutenant Governor from 2012 to 2018. Her new role includes mentoring commanding officers in the unit and building relationships with other units through the Honorary Colonel Network.
It's an honor. It's truly an honor. This is a specific, different atmosphere than what I'm used to with the Army. It's very important, I think. It's an important role for me. I've had other roles in my life, but I'm quite looking forward to this one. And I think it's very important to Saskatchewan to support this wing.
And 15 Wing will hold the change of command ceremony on June 12th. Solomon Schofield will be sworn in for a 3-year term. Well, Western sovereignty wasn't the only focus of this week's Western Premiers Conference in Yellowknife. Arctic sovereignty was also a topic that came up. The conference wrapped up Thursday. Nunavut Premier PJ Akiaguk stressed the importance of nation-building projects in Nunavut. He says they can help Canada diversify its economy while contributing to Arctic sovereignty. Akiaguk says he is hopeful that the upcoming throne speech from King Charles will make mention of the projects. King Charles will deliver the speech in Ottawa on Tuesday. New research about sea levels suggests an urgent need to plan for the future. It says waters will rise by meters, not centimeters, and that acting today could protect millions in the decades and centuries to come. Johanna Wagstaff has that story.
Imagine sea levels were up here instead of down there. This isn't theoretical, it's happening. Okay, so not in a couple years, but over a couple centuries, which means now is exactly when we need to start planning. How we build our cities, how we adapt our coastlines, zoning laws, flood maps, seawalls, wetlands. This isn't abstract, it's about staying ahead of the water. Because even if we cap warming at 1.5 degrees Celsius, the oceans aren't done rising. Scientists just reran the numbers, drawing on ancient coral, sediment, fossil shorelines, and found that the last time Earth was this warm, about 125,000 years ago, sea levels were 4 to 10 meters higher. That's because ice takes time to melt, but once it starts, it's hard to stop. Greenland and Antarctica, that ice won't collapse overnight, but once they go, they don't quit. It's like tipping a jug of water. You can't freeze it mid-pour. Even conservative projections show a 1 meter sea level rise in 75 years, but it keeps going from there. Right now, about 230 million people live on land less than 1 meter above sea level. About 1 billion within 10 meters. That's 1 in 8 people on Earth. So no, your entire city isn't going underwater tomorrow, but this is coming, and we've still got time to get ready.
And weather specialist Helena Mahalik joining us now. And from rising sea levels, Helena, to another particular kind of emergency, I guess, in the province. And we're talking once again about forest fires.
Yes, you know, we have seen a week of cooler weather for the south and central parts, but northern Saskatchewan has had a hot and dry week, causing air quality statements to be in effect. Let's take a look at where some of those are in northern Saskatchewan this evening, the majority of which is in the La Ronge, Pelican Narrows, and Wollaston Lake areas as this smoke spreads. And people in these areas are asked to monitor for health symptoms and stay indoors if they can as this smoke continues to spread. So as we can see here, Friday evening into Saturday, the smoke is continuing to spread into the north, the majority of which we're going to see some smoke plumes in the La Ronge area. So the strongest of the smoke will be in that area, which could also affect areas in the northern grain belt near Prince Albert there. And Friday evening, we're seeing not much relief for that area. There could be a 30% chance of some showers in the north Friday evening, but we are seeing a higher chance of some showers in the southwestern part of the province, areas around Swift Current. And we are seeing that Friday evening. As we get into Saturday, most of the province is just in for a clear night. We are seeing a partly cloudy night throughout most of the province, but as we get into Saturday afternoon and then into Sunday afternoon, that's going to continue for the province, mainly clear skies as temperatures continue rising up to the 20-degree mark for much of the province, and that's going to continue into Monday overnight and into the morning there. Just a very clear day for the province as temperatures continue rising up. We are checking out our winds Friday evening. Areas like Swift Current, up to 40 kilometers an hour wind gusts Friday afternoon and into the evening there. And as we get into Saturday afternoon, we're seeing that trend continue of up to 40 kilometers an hour winds. It's mostly in the western parts of the province, areas like Swift Current and Lloydminster really feeling those winds. We're going to continue to feel a bit of a breeze into Sunday afternoon and into the evening there. Again, 40 kilometers an hour winds in the Lloydminster and Saskatoon areas and in the far north, which could be good for some of those wildfires to push out some of that smoke. But we are seeing a high pressure system rolling in across the province, bringing us very high temperatures into this weekend. Temperatures will be in the 20-degree mark Saturday and climbing up into Sunday. Temperatures maybe even getting closer to the 25-degree mark for some areas. And as we get into our work week, we're seeing that trend continue. And Ethan, temperatures could even be closer to 30 degrees next week. So definitely time to break out those shorts.
Yeah, sure is. Okay, Helena, thank you so much.
Thanks, Ethan.
Well, the Saskatchewan Roughriders are in Winnipeg this weekend for the team's first preseason game. The Riders last met the Blue Bombers when the Green and White lost the 2024 West Final, but it's a new year and a new team. The Riders left Saskatoon Friday after 2 weeks of training camp. They are bringing 4 quarterbacks and a roster full of players hoping to make the team. The coaching staff wants to see every player get some time in during the game.
Just execution. You know what I mean? That's the main thing. Making sure they're in the right spots, and then obviously just effort. We preach that. I think a lot of the guys coming in, not necessarily just rookies, but guys coming in from different teams, just meeting the expectations of what we're looking for.
Saturday afternoon's game in Winnipeg kicks off at 2 o'clock. Then the Riders get a day off before training camp resumes Monday in Regina at Mosaic Stadium. The Riders kick off the regular season at home on June 5th against Ottawa. Canada's top divers are in Saskatoon this weekend. The Saskatoon Diving Club is hosting the Summer Senior National Championships. The competition will also feature some local talent, including Rylan Wiens, who won bronze in the 10-meter synchro event at last year's Summer Olympics in Paris, and Commonwealth Games bronze medalist Margot Earlham, who also competed in Paris. Earlham says she looks forward to doing what she loves, where she lives.
I love competing at home. I mean, it has its pros and cons, definitely. I do love it, though. It's nice I get to stay at my own place, cook my own food and have, support here. My mom will be coming and, my friends are coming. So, but it is a different added pressure. It's your hometown. You have the home field advantage. So I think there's a little bit of added pressure, but I love it overall.
The Summer Senior National Diving Championships kicked off Friday and run all this weekend at the Shaw Centre in Saskatoon. Well, the weekend is nearly here, and with the warm-up comes the chance to hit the spray pads. If you are in Regina, they officially opened Friday and are now open daily from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. all summer long. The only two not quite open yet, Kinsman Park South, which opens Monday, and Rick Hansen Optimist Playground, which opens next Thursday. And if you're in Saskatoon, you'll have to wait until June 1st for spray pads to open there. Stay with us. We have more news and a final look at the forecast when we come back. Welcome back. Saskatchewan Polytechnic held its second Jill of All Trades event Friday in Saskatoon. Its aim is to teach women about opportunities in the trades. The event was organized by the Women in Trades and Technology program. 144 high school students were given a tour to learn about different trades jobs through hands-on workshops and activities. They also got to hear from women working in many different fields.
I always thought that I wanted to do trades. I just didn't know exactly where I wanted to go. But since I got accepted into the Jill of Trades and get to come here, I get to realize where I want to go work is in the trades.
We've seen from our program attendees, 25% of those young ladies have gone on to trades programs. So we are seeing a lot of that continuation from the excitement of learning to then progressing into the trades.
Zur says last year the program had to turn away 130 students because it was so popular, which is why they increased the spots for this year. Helena's back with us now and looking like quite a nice weekend forecast.
Yes, Ethan, you'll definitely want to get out and enjoy that beautiful weather this weekend. It's going to be a hot one. Let's take a look at just how hot it's going to get in Regina. It's going to be a beautiful weekend and week as the sun will be out all throughout the week. Temperatures this weekend will be rising just above the 20-degree mark. And as we get into the work week, temperatures will be rising up to the 25-degree mark and into the end of the work week, even closer to 30 degrees. We will see a few days here and there with a bit of a breeze, but overnight lows will get to above seasonal for this time of year. So definitely time to start thinking about planting your gardens. So beautiful week overall in Regina and another beautiful week in Saskatoon. The sun will be out all throughout the week. This weekend, temperatures will be hovering just below the 25-degree mark. And as we get into the rest of the work week, temperatures will begin to climb up every single day after the weekend. As we get into the end of the work week, temperatures could even raise above 30 degrees. We might see a day of rain and a few breezy days. But again, overnight lows, Ethan, will be way above seasonal for this time of year. So definitely a time to get out and enjoy the beautiful weather.
Yeah, I got that sunscreen that you told me about ready to go. I'll send it your way too.
Yeah, I might need it. And don't forget the sunglasses.
Of course, yes. Okay, thanks, Helena.
Thanks, Ethan.
That's it for us this week. You can always head to our website or YouTube channel for more news, or of course, download the CBC News app on your smartphone or tablet. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.